So I need to do one more, then I'm off to bed, but this was just too juicy to go through. But I forgot this from the last video, so I'll just play it here. So this is really kind of the point that about we have to end the grievancekulttuuri and we have to have identity politics for all people or not anyone. And this is really very good sketch that Calvin McInnes etc. did. And this really proves our point, I think, how ridiculous it is right now in the United States. So Milo had this speech that I was referencing also in the last article, but here he played this sketch, which they did before they had this speech, that they actually visited, kind of disguised and in a trolling intent, visited the University of Houston, and they talked about their kind of ideas in a positive way, so they kind of built the trust with the social justice warriors who are heading the university and making a lot of changes there and whatever, and they got them to really tell about their ideologies and what they believe and what they want, and they were able to offer very crazy solutions, because I mean they already demand coloring books to get out of stress for the students, so they quite like to be treated like children. But I think Milo wanted to see here how far he could go with this treating like children and still keep them happy and wanting more, like would really like fantasize and like this kind of treatment. So let's see, this is quite hilarious, I might want that kind of shirt.
Have you been microaggressed?
Have you been triggered?
Have you been culturally appropriated to the point where you're like...
Have you experienced a bad grade, a bad breakup, or worst of all, bad thoughts from bad people?
The stress of school gets to that, like a bad grade, a missed class, being late, a microaggression, whatever. Even if it's just something small, it just feels huge.
Are you a victim of people holding opinions other than your own?
That's why we need to ban people like Milo.
Yeah, that's awful.
We need to ban certain thoughts and people from college campuses from coast to coast.
And you can't invite someone with those types of views.
Absolutely
You got to
not.
block those types of things out if you want to be truly diverse.
Are you tired of being kinda hetero white man splained too?
Every place should be a safe space.
We should have like calming rooms.
Sometimes it just feels like you need a space.
Like, but it would also be nice if there was like a room I could just go in and just like...
Being the victim of a microaggression can be a very macro, agonizing micro experience.
Fortunately, we have a macro solution.
We are demanding that campuses redistribute their endowments and their tuition to pay for things like
Special first aid kits.
Like, if you could know that you could go to an advisor and to somewhere and just say, I need emotional first aid.
I try to look the other way, like the people say that. Emotional first aid. Emotional first aid.
George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Alexander
When you ask, the alt-right shall provide.
Hamilton are all part of a infamous group of founding fathers.
It's an emotional first aid kit. It's a fun little tote.
For the very worst kind of injuries. Emotional injuries.
There's first aid for your body, but there's also first aid for your mind.
Yeah.
As a non-binary person living in this binary world, everywhere you look, there are these white dudes doing white dude things.
And as much as our department would like to say that we're super awesome and stuff, like, there's a bunch of white dudes running white dude things, and there's misogyny here.
I have friends who would shout into pillows.
So I spend like the majority of my nights just like screaming into a pillow, like, God, why?
Personally, I would run into walls. That was before I was introduced to the emotional first aid kit.
We also found brave leaders at the University of Houston who understand our plight and want to help.
So, like, if you need help actually putting together the kits, I would come and help you guys.
we found faculty with more than enough time to devote to our cause.
They're really cool with me. Facebook doing whatever, Facebook doing whatever.
That's why we're installing one of these on every single corner. in every single dorm.
Totally free of charge, of course.
We want to give this to every single student, basically in the world, but we'll start here.
I'm like, so what do you fit in those kids?
One of the things we just started out with was just a very soft baby blanket.
There's an owl blanket.
That you can, little monkeys who are sailors, who are genderless.
One of the biggest issues is your surroundings and all the people. So how do you cancel out the people? Or your experience of the overwhelmingness that you're feeling?
When they're all like freaking out, like when everything is like loud, even loud noises. Just basically earplugs. You just pop those in.
You know, like an eye mask and like headphones,
Just
with like with the just set to like, you know, the sounds of like, I don't know, kittens.
Kittens. You know the sound of kittens, and then you just go.
The smell of lavender, because that's calming.
Yeah, right.
And then while you're chilling out, chillaxing, you can have a pacifier. Now this isn't just mimicking a woman's breast, it's also a way to sort of.
You know, I sucked my thumb for 20 years, so like also when I just, would go.
Suckle and the.
By the way, much more hygienic to use that kind of thing than your thumb.
The repetition of realigns your chakra.
We also have Hershey's Kisses.
But even when we're getting candies, we want to be careful about the kind of candy images we say.
There's white chocolate. Whoa!
Does anyone see a problem with this?
We have Hershey Kisses, and we didn't realize these ones would have American flags on them.
Sort of synthetic patriotism too. I'm more American because I wave a flag as opposed to walking the walk.
It's synthetic patriotism. Real sort of like conquer the world vibe. So we would never ever have a Hershey's Kiss with these, the symbols of oppression.
We know that we can't remove the invisible hand of the patriarchy, but what we can do is make it a little more tolerable.
But you don't think the bark is going to be upsetting?
I don't know. I hope not.
Okay, good. So we can keep that in.
In the name of asterisk diversity, we believe that certain people and thoughts have to be banned as to not upset or offend certain students.
I don't know. You know about this guy that's coming in a few weeks?
No.
It's like really hateful person. Milo or Miko. You know what I'm talking about?
No. I'm going to look up the event.
Milo.
Oh.
Have you heard
Is
of
this him?
Yeah.
British journalist? This guy that looks like a weird Anderson Cooper? I have two moms, and it took me a long time because I just thought because I have two moms and my mom's super liberal, and then I'm like, they're not. They're kind of conservative, crappy. You guys, like, contacted the president or the president's office
We're going to
be like,
we're going to work.
How did they let him come here?
They shouldn't have let him come.
You're actually not doing it when you bring these people in. If you're not celebrating diversity. Instead, you're doing the exact opposite of that.
Because the new definition of diversity is a beautiful kaleidoscope of the same ideas.
So yeah, we are changing the internet and our society to tender the delicate needs of these people who get triggered very easily, but it gives me hope that if you have a pacifier you can get them happy. So I think I will from now on in my stand-up gigs keep couple of pacifiers just handy if someone gets really triggered, because I'm gonna say some stuff about this. So but anyway, so I want to read about this. So I have no idea what this is, but this was referred in the one article about Google AI things. So Yle Kioski traces the origins of Russia social media propaganda, never before seen material from the troll factory. We followed the operations of the secretive so-called troll factory in St. Petersburg on the spot for 3 days. Troll. Everyone having discussions on the internet knows the word. It means a person who annoys and provokes others participating in web discussion on purpose. Kinda like the video you just showed. Kinda like that. It can be quite funny, it can be really entertaining, but yeah, it is basically trolling, and I agree you should do a lot of it. In Russia, this world of web slang has a new meaning. A troll is an employee who is paid post integrating comments in the social media about President Vladimir Putin anonymously and not aggressively. So, okay, this is the muddying water tactic that left likes to use. For example, I can give another example. For example, if you mention men's rights activist MRI to any feminist or many people, then they will say that, oh, those are just horrible misogynistic hate group that wants to harass and target women, and it's horrible. And they don't even understand the irony that it's basically feminism for men, so it's looking out for men's rights, for men's benefit. But they've strangled it with other things like red pillars, pickup artists, and other people they don't like into one mess that was just a hateful group. And if a person says that men's rights activism is just a hateful, bigoted thing, then that's very fucking insulting, because it's just the word designed to stop those ideas to be presented and talked about, and some of those ideas are actually leading to better equality, like for example more just family courts or more just rape courts, etc. Like many of these universities have crazy kangaroo courts where basically females, if they are raped, they are automatically victims, even if they come up with lies or whatever, and then men are punished for just whatever, like for even daring to ask a girl out or whatever crazy stuff. So I think they're doing the same with trolls. So the first definition was correct. So is to say something funny or whatever to have a reaction out of a person, and then you can kind of make fun of the reaction, like in that video, or build on it or whatever. But now they are having some very odd political agenda pushed there, so that troll is a very bad thing. So slang meaning for the word troll: a message or a person whose primary objective is to annoy and provoke people, cause controversy, write pointless messages. Pro-Russia trolling usually refers to aggressive and anonymous web communication supporting the agenda of the Russian leadership. So, totally different and not quite even close to same or whatever. Like, I mean, I guess if it's a pointless messages to support the agenda of the Russian leadership, we might have something, but then again, if it's a pointless message, then why would you write this article about pointless things? I don't know. But what kind of workplace employs people whose job is said to be to praise Putin's Russia? Kioski investigated the background of a secret office building in St. Petersburg that is called the Troll Factory, and followed its life in for 3 days. Here it is. A satellite image on Google Maps shows that the Troll Factory is a fairly large office building. Tuesday, 3:53 p.m. we called the recruiter. According to the information revealed by hackers and journalists, the salaries of the employees of the Troll Factory are paid by internet research agency. I can't pronounce Russian, so I'll just give up. The company that is funded by Russian businessmen who are commended, who has not. The company that is funded by Russian businessman has not commented on the information. The connection of the Troll Factory with the Kremlin has not been proved, but then again, there is no proof about the forms of information warfare in general. We studied the job advertisement of the Internet Research Agency on 2 February. There were 10 of them in Russian job website. The company is not looking for trolls, but for example social media specialists, internet operators, content managers and copywriters for day and night shifts. The advertisement states that the company wants to recruit people who can work on the internet, produce web content of different types of audiences and rewrite texts. The monthly salary varies from about 400 euros for a regular employee to approximately 660 euros for managers. The job is described as a steady in the advertisements. Yes, advertisement. In the Internet Research Center is looking for a content manager whose task according to the job advertisement include writing and moderating news, info material and analysis. We called the recruiter at the Internet Research Agency and asked for more information about the jobs. The close-lipped woman answering our question reveals that the copywriter and content manager mostly write about political topics in English. We asked the person responsible for recruitment in the Internet Research Agency for more information. Thursday evening, 5 p.m. We call former employees. We call a former employee of the Troll Factory, a young woman, and ask for an interview. She has acquired her information from email correspondence between the managers and employees of the Troll Factory revealed by hackers. The woman tells us she quit her job long time ago and refuses to give us an interview. Other former employees we were able to get in phone either refuse to speak or deny that they have any knowledge on the matter. According to the former employees who have spoken publicly, documents revealed by hackers and journalists have infiltrated into the Troll Factory. The Troll Factory employs as many as 250 people. They distribute propaganda in blogs, discussion boards on Facebook, Vekokontakte, Twitter and comment section of the media. One troll can produce as many as 50 to 100 messages a day and maintain several profiles on social media. Often they also comment on the comments they wrote themselves. The Crimea is ours. Obama is a dick, Putin is a real man. The Russian Ministry of Defense did a good job. Look at those tanks. Example of the topic's former employees. Troll Factory said they bought up a while working. Source article in the news website Fontangafi. Okay, so basically this is interesting because this seems like a dream job. Well, the pay is very low for our standards in Finland. We would need like 3 times more, but basically you just surf around the internet like a boss and tell that Obama is a dick, Putin is a real man. Seems like a dream job to some people. But like it's really interesting kind of that if this is like a real operation with 250 people working day and night out, like what is their ultimate goal? I'm so sad that I didn't look for the Mad Ventures Russia documentary because my little brother said I should watch it, and I will be watching it because he said it was really, really good. So I would have known maybe a little bit more about their intentions and such, but maybe, I don't know, I have to ask him about this Troll Factory. So, Thursday evening, 6:01 p.m. the first visit. We drive to the street 55th to take photographs of the Troll Factory from the outside. There are no signs representing the companies operating in the building above the main entrance or anywhere else in the walls of the building. Nearly all windows are lit and blinds are drawn. We can see security guard at the entrance hall. The Troll Factory is located at the north side of the city center of St. Petersburg. There are employees at work round the clock. Thursday evening, 8 p.m. we meet an undercover journalist. We meet Alexandra Kramasbova, a journalist working on the Russian newspaper Novaya Gazeta. She and a colleague went to work in the Troll Factory as employees in 2013 when it was located in another address in the Oligino area of St. Petersburg and wrote an article about her experience. I'm not gonna do this today or ever because it's in Russia, but so it would have been interesting. In the Troll Factory, Alexandra was given the task to comment on various topics every day, for example, to defame Russian opposition politicians. The journalist Alexandra Kesabara took photographs in the Troll Factory in Olgino. The sign on the door says Social Media Department. Watch Alexandra Kesaba's short account of her work in the Troll Factory. Okay, we have to watch this.
Ну, дальше на следующий. Я записала свои паспортные данные. Но я испугалась, что на следующий день, собственно...
So she says that she wrote her personal details in the work interview.
На следующий день, собственно, можем быть
But I was afraid that we could get caught the next day.
разоблачены и шла без особой надежды, потому что, было очевидно.
We didn't believe that we would succeed because we thought it would be clear.
Что в любой нормальной конторе, которая скрывается, они попытаются, наверное.
That in every secret working office, they try to look at the past of the workers.
Что-то узнать о том или ином человеке.
I bet they don't have many money to do much of a background checks with checking with that payment that they give these people.
Но здесь всего этого сделано совершенно.
They didn't do it, and we started.
Не было. На следующий день мы пришли и спокойно сели работать. И тогда.
the officials were interested at that time. The opposition politician Alexei Navalny, I can't say if I pronounce that name right.
Власти волновал больше там Алексей Навальный. Ну, об Америке, естественно, они уже писали какие-то гадости, но это было...
United States of America was written all kind of films.
Рассчитано на внутреннюю аудиторию, для там внутреннего какого-то
But it was meant for to distract the Russian
баллонирование, когда они говорили, что в Америке тесно, потому что там много небоскребов, или что в Америке...
We wrote that it's very like that there's very tight in America, so that people don't have much space. They are really stuck in a small area or whatever, and there is because there is so many these skyscrapers.
В Америке люди ходят в пижамах, потому что у них не...
Or that people use nighttime overalls because the houses are not kept warm.
Отапливаются дома, например.
So basic trolling shit. Alexandra Kazuma, a journalist working for the Russian newspaper Novaya Gazeta, tells us in the video that she was afraid of getting caught when she applied for the job in the Internet Research Agency. Alexandra worked there as an undergraduate journalist in 2013 when the Russian leadership was especially interested in the opposition politician Alexei Navalny. Friday at noon, we meet the director of the news agency operating the building. We drive back to South Street 55th and investigate the other companies operating in the building and connected with widespreading misleading information. One of the tenants is Fan, a company that calls itself a news agency. The company administers several websites launched recently, for example, Ru, that confirms the views of the Russian leadership when reporting news concerning Ukraine, and some website, the Cargo news agency that deceivingly appears to be Ukrainian but operates in Russia. According to the information acquired by Kioski, people that have applied for the jobs in Internet Research Agency have actually been hired to work for FAN. We interviewed Yegudev Subarev, the director of FAN, in front of the office. Subarev denies the claims that there are trolls working in FAN. He blames the accusations on propaganda warfare and says the whole discussion about trolling has damaged the reputation of his agency. Subarev says he does not know Internet Research Agency employees have been recruited by FAN and suspect the blame lies in the operations and the recruitment company. We asked Subarev if he could show us around the offices of FAN. He refuses and says FAN is only one of the tenants in the building. What Subarev's interview. Those who blame our news agency for trolling are
Когда
lying.
нас Федеральное агентство новостей обвиняет, да, вот что там у нас там какие-то тролли, люди просто лгут. Но...
They are not lying because it's somehow
Лгут
simple.
не потому, что они там...
Or that they are somehow simple.
Ну, какие-то недалекие или что, а потому что поставлен...
Their goal is to paint a bad picture about
Там
it.
конкретная цель дискредитировать нас. Я думаю, что это результат...
I think this is a clear following after propaganda war. That this is a clear what comes after a propaganda war, or that what happens because there is a propaganda war. That this is a clear
пропагандистской войны, который...
Clear following of propaganda.
Ну, понимаете, я меньше всего хочу, да, этим заниматься. Моя задача...
I definitely don't want trolling.
Задача выстроить агентство, сделать его прибыль.
It's so
И, ну,
My work is to create a profiting news.
Возможно, инвестор захочет его потом продать, понимаете?
Who the investor would like to sell later.
Вот моя задача, это бизнес.
This is a business. Sigurd Dubarev, the director of the news agency FAN, says the video of the people who accuse his news agency for trolling are lying. According to Dubarev, it's all about business. Friday, 1:34 p.m. The security guard, this is a governmental building. We move on the front of the main entrance of the building and take photographs in the street. Security guard comes out of the building, tells us to stop taking photographs and says the building is a governmental building. If this is in fact true, it is very interesting. In Russia, governmental buildings usually include the buildings of federal security service, military buildings, administrative buildings, and nuclear power plants, for example. The security in governmental buildings is especially rigorous. Finally, the security guard asks us to leave and threatens to call the police. These photographs have been taken in Savska Street, made the security guard of a troll factory angry. A view of Saugisen Street from the front of the troll factory. Saturday morning, 8:45 a.m. The morning shift staff arrives and the night staff leaves. We go back to the factory to see change in shift on Saturday morning, 8:45 to 9:45. According to the job advertisement, many shifts start at 9 o'clock in the morning and end at 9 o'clock in the evening. Approximately 40 to 50 people enter the building for 9 o'clock and several night shift workers leave. Most of the employers are women and men in their 20s. What's the general scenes of change of shift? I don't know why they are so obsessed about this.
Eli nuoria ihmisiä menee paljon sisään
Young people, a lot of them are going inside.
Aamulla töihin.
At the 9 o'clock they go to work.
Paljon lähti myös pois tossa vähän.
A lot of people also left quite recently.
Aika sitten. Kello on 9 aamulla on
Time is 9 o'clock in the morning.
lauantai. Eli
It's Saturday.
Nyt on vuoronvaihdon aika trollitehtaalla Pietari.
So now is the shift change in the troll factory in St. Petersburg.
Voi ei, toi sama turvamies tuli nyt
Oh no, the same security guard came.
taas tuohon ulos.
Came to the outside again.
Tästä ei voi seurata mitään hyvää.
Nothing good can come out of it. You are about to be trolled. Oh my god. Video material about the change of seats. The security guard of the building approaches our journalists again. Journalist, this does not abide well. We ask employees to tell us about their work, but they all refuse. Some of them say that they don't have the right to say anything and they are not allowed to say anything. What's the discussions with employees? Video 4. An employee who has just left the building says he works in a news agency but says he has no right to answer any questions. He asks us to represent questions to his supervisor. During change of the shift, we ask employees hanging around outside the building if they could tell us about their work. The employees say they have no right to speak. Kioski asks, do you work in a news agency? The worker responds, can I ask you some questions? I have no right. Kioski, I am a reporter and I answer if they ask me. The worker, you are reporter, I am not. I work in different Who are you then? I have my own working things I can't talk about. If you are not reporter, who else work in your news agency? There is also reporters. You can wait. Your reporters somehow are afraid. Have they asked you not to talk about your work? No. I just don't like it that you are filming me. What if we don't film? I still don't want to tell any secrets. You don't have to talk about your. You don't have to talk anything except about your job. Could you at least tell what are they writing about? that is also talking
Слушай, можете рассказать, о чем пишет ваше издание?
Каких? Я тоже... Это разговор о работе.
А что содержание...
Is the what includes what you write about government secret? How
Ваш
do you think
контент,
it's
это
a
тоже
government secret?
государственная тайна?
При чем здесь государственная тайна?
Ну, о чем вы хотите?
Why don't you want to talk about it then? I just don't want to.
Ну, просто я не хочу об этом говорить. Вы можете... Сейчас как раз смена начинается новая, вы сможете...
Now the exchange shifts. Maybe someone comes who wants to talk.
Сейчас встретить кого-то, вы можете быть вообще.
К сожалению, почему-то никто не
For some reason, no one wants to talk about
хочет
it.
рассказывать о своей
Ну,
работе.
я, к сожалению, вы можете начать.
Try some senior officer. He's coming also soon. We already talked to him yesterday.
Можно дождаться. Он тоже подъедет скоро.
С вашим начальством вчера разговаривали тоже.
Я, к сожалению, не могу.
I'm sorry, but I can't say anything because I also don't know anything.
Не могу вам ничего сказать. Я, скажем так, сам ничего не знаю.
Почему у вас на здании нет...
Why is there no signs at the building who would tell what organization this is?
Опознавательного знака, что здесь за организация?
Я не знаю, ну...
I don't know, I'm just a regular worker at...
Это же не ко мне вопросы, эти вопросы, скорее всего, к начальству. Я обычный рядовой рабочий.
А внутри там есть какие-то...
Is somewhere inside, does the organization name show? I don't know.
Обозначение организации?
Не
Знаете,
знаю.
как на проходной обычно бывает там.
Ну, там есть...
At the entrance, there usually is... the entrance is there, it needs a card.
Вход в здание через по карточку, все.
А какого-то списка организаций?
Do you have a list who I could call about whatever?
Там туда звоните так-то, туда звоните
Я
так-то.
не знаю. Нет такой
I don't know. Even I don't have that information. If I would know, I would.
информации. Если бы знал, сказал бы.
Как не имеется информация? Он висит или нет список?
Is there not just a list? I don't know. I
Я
have.
не знаю, я не видел.
Спасибо. Спасибо, извините.
Thank you and all the well. Goodbye.
Всего доброго, до свидания.
Video 5. This article starts at the Kioski series articles about the pro-Russia trolling. Text, photos and videos by Jessica Arro and Mika Mäkeläinen. The Finnish version's article can be found here. Kioski is a cross-media product that operates in social media, web and television. Kioski is produced by Yle, Finnish broadcasting company. Oh my god. I'm sure they've got a lot of hate about this. But let's see this also. Kioski, can we talk to you via recording? If someone asks us about our job, we will most pleasantly tell you about it. The workers say, we are not allowed to tell, you are annoying our conversation, you are bothering our conversation. Kioski, are you forbidden to talk to reporters?
Ну, вы нам мешаете.
You are distracting to our conversation. I just came here to talk with my friend.
Просто буду общаться. Я вышел, мне сейчас 5 минут. Хочу пообщаться.
Я только что приехал.
Kioski asks, but you just came out of the, and they don't say it, but the roll factory. The worker, well, yeah. Kioski, can you tell me about your work? Worker, believe it, please, that we have no right to speak about it. Kioski says thank you. Very odd article, and I'll just see. Well, I didn't see if there are any comments or anything. They could have been really funny, but this is so fucking odd of an article that I'm not wondering if people get some kind of hate because this is so vague and very odd. But that was that. So I guess there is a troll factory in St. Petersburg. I would have never known, but I really now want to look at the Mad Ventures Russia documentary because this seems interesting. Thank you and goodbye.